Jack is, I have two boys, John and Jack. Jack's the younger of the two. John's 21. Jack was 15. Jack was a very outgoing, typical teenager, 14 and 15, rambunctious, outgoing, very compassionate, pretty much an empathetic kid.
He was a really sensitive person, and I think that was one of his best attributes, because he could tell when you were feeling down, and without even asking you or having a conversation with you, he just could pick that up. Total empath.
He was so kind to other kids. And I wonder if that sense of kindness made him more susceptible to feeling.
Was there much talk of, did you remember there being suicides or anything like that?
Never. I never have heard that. We were worried. We were more worried about physical illnesses, but I don't remember there being a problem with suicide.
I've always liked technology, and I will say that it was hard to keep up with it, but I would stay up sometimes very late trying to figure out what my son was doing on his phone and figuring out how to use all the same apps that he used, so that I never got behind on that stuff. But, that's a really difficult thing to do. I knew that it was working because Jack told me one day, "Mom, I give up. You're too smart. I cannot keep up with you, and I'm just going to tell you everything now." And he did, except one thing.
Definitely the worst day of my life was getting that phone call from my parents.
He didn't do it on purpose, and he didn't do it to hurt us. He was just in a lot of pain.
Jack struggled for 9 days in the hospital. And then after about 6 weeks, we were able to crack his phone.
Someone said that there was, some stuff on sale at Home Depot that would help you basically off yourself. And other kids would just come right out and say, text, just go kill yourself. And then this is not uncommon. He's not the first kid that's had that happen to him.
Why did I not know what anxiety was, and why do you know?
I guess they've been a little bit better about.
But even then, they only made it known to us after 4 kids killed themselves.
That's true.
In Littleton alone, at the beginning of the year, there were multiple suicides before school even started.
At Children's Hospital, there is a new program for 10-year-olds and over, and they say, have you ever thought about killing yourself? Have you ever tried to hurt yourself? How do you feel about that?
So I work in one of the busiest pediatric emergency departments in the country. At any given time, we can easily have 4 or 5, sometimes 6 patients who are there waiting for mental health evaluation or waiting to be transferred for inpatient treatment.
You hear from the CDC that suicide is the second leading cause of death in children ages 10 to 24.
Colorado, suicide is the number 1 cause of death for individuals 10 to 24.
Every day we send out, over a dozen imminent suicide alerts every single day.
It was such a rare occurrence to see that now it is commonplace. Has something changed about us biologically?
From 2000 and 2007, the suicide rate seemed virtually was pretty stable and had, if anything, some years fluctuated down. But then we saw a beginning trend, and it became evident over time that it was increasing from 2010 to 2017.
Not only teen suicide, but child suicide, 10 or 9 years old.
I said, all right, sure, what do you got? He goes, well, Friday night, I had 2 10-year-olds on Snapchat. One thought it'd be a funny idea to talk the other one into committing suicide. And she did it. She's dead.
So 43% of 1.12 million children that presented to the ERs for suicidal ideation or suicide attempt were under 11 years old.
whether these young adults think that they're not worth anything, I guess, I don't know, but people can't deal with things now.
But I feel like a lot of people in our generation are like way more sensitive than they should be. Like if one insignificance happens, it'll just trigger like every past thing that's happened in their life.
There's always a competition. Like with school, you're competing for the best rank. With social media, there's this unspoken, I guess, kind of competition for like most followers in a sense. If you're losing that competition, it hurts. Like it shows, you feel it in your heart.
Constantly comparing myself to others, constantly, wanting that thing or needing to be checking or not falling behind on notifications or whatever kinds of stresses are attached to that. But then you couple that with the fact that I just don't know how to deal with anything coming my way. And I just think at times for some kids, it's just a toxic combination.
Suicide is always the result of many factors. As we are not teaching kids as many skills to self-regulate and deal with difficult emotions, well, one thing that a device can be is a great way to distract.
Not being able to have my phone for a week, definitely, I would get really bored, and I feel like I would be stressed out.
Typically when I get bored, I do pick up my phone.
I had people to talk to, but they got bored. I don't know, it's just like something that I do when I'm bored.
Oftentimes it's a child who's simply bored.
Yeah, I'm pretty much bored.
I get so bored.
Sometimes when I'm bored.
Because they were bored.
And they're bored.
Boredom.
He is so bored. My mindset just got worse and worse just because I felt so unproductive and I wasn't doing anything. And I felt like that's pretty common. Most kids are bored, cooped up.